Today's episode is sponsored to you by A&H Provisions. Meat and hot dogs that are so good, even Goyim understand how amazing they are. It's the next level of kosher food, and the website is kosherdogs.net. Get yours, enjoy them, A&H Provisions. Welcome to And Here's Modi. Thank you for being a friend. Da-na-na-na-da-na-na again. Your heart is done and your friend and a friend. Thank you for a confidant. Thank you for being a friend. We're sitting here in Florida on the lanai. We're not. We're inside. It's too hot outside.
In Fort Lauderdale.
In Fort Lauderdale, literally on
Hello, dear.
Hold on.
Hello.
We're in Fort Lauderdale. It's January 30th, and it's too hot to be outside. It's so hot. And in New York,
8
degrees. Okay.
Let's start with
Our sponsor.
Our sponsor today is A&H Provisions. A good friend, Seth, the best kosher products out there.
what kind of kosher products?
Hot dogs,
Yum.
yummy, and then all their meats and
Deli meats.
Deli meats are amazing,
Yum.
and the salami and everything is delicious. And I've mentioned it in the podcast before, but we've gone to the kosher supermarkets here, and you can see that their stuff flies off the shelves.
Yeah, their
much
stuff is
more.
moving,
And it's for a reason. It's not because it's cheap or anything. It's just the best product.
Right.
And if you go to their website, Modi is the promo code to get you 30% off.
kosherdogs.net.
Kosherdogs.net. Thank you guys very much.
I
for that.
recently brought to a Shiva call a thing of knockwurst.
From them?
Obviously.
Of course. For those of you listening, Periel has changed into what can only be described as I don't know. It's giving Agador from the Birdcage. It's a floral print little number matching pants and shirt. It's adorable. I want it in my size. But you are fully dressed and styled for the Florida episode.
Well, I was told, and I have learned, that the #1 tenet of operating is to know your audience.
Yes.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a good callback, Periel.
Yeah. But it's giving more. Let me tell you what it's giving more. I was once in Montreal with my friend Steve Elbaz, who's Moroccan, and we were having Shabbat lunch in his parents' house, and all the aunts came over fully dressed, like everything done, outfits, shoes, everything. They showed up. They all went into a bathroom at one point and came out wearing shmatas.
I like that.
Not this for shmatas, but they
I like
all
that.
like their in-house wear.
Yeah.
They showed up like, hi, this
They
is
showed
my
up in like a little
outfit.
Chanel suit, and then they got into
A house
pajamas.
coat. They all got into their own house coats.
I think I would do that,
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm very into it. It feels very Julian Schnabel to me.
Schnabel.
Who's Julian Schnabel?
He's an artist.
Okay.
You know the pink building in the West Village, that gorgeous pink building?
I think so.
That's his.
Okay.
He's a huge artist.
Does he wear
Yeah, it's like his
pajama sets like
signature.
this?
He's like
cute.
he's huge, but like he's really famous for showing up to like super swanky events in sunglasses and pajamas.
I think I might have to adopt that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
chic.
I told you to get those silk pajama shirts and all that. I love
Yeah.
that. I can't wear it because I think I left the home. but if you could get away with it, show some chests or a little jewelry up there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting away with it, but I'm certainly gonna.
No, you're getting away with
do
it.
No,
my
you're
best.
fine. You're also because you're a woman and it's cute. And but if I walked around in the pajamas, people would be okay. So I'm gonna go collect them.
Someone we're gonna
So
get a
Periel,
call.
last night we took you to 15th Street Fisheries.
Right.
here
First,
in
stop.
Fort
What is
Lauderdale.
going on here is totally insane.
What?
First of all, you have settled into Florida.
Oh my
like,
Yeah. So again, we're here in Florida for about a month, no, a little over a month. It's a month and a few days. We're staying at an Airbnb in Fort Lauderdale.
We're staying till the 20th of...
You've done how many shows here already?
Okay, so...
9, 8.
Okay, so from the
10?
beginning, just to know, when we've lived together 8 years, and the first 6 we spent the winters in New York. And Leo at one point just turned to me and goes, "This is not okay."
I just snapped.
He snapped and said, you can't function like this. This isn't right. And then over COVID, when my entire audience moved to Florida, and I mean all over from Palm Beach to Miami, my audience is here, especially during these months. This is where we are.
And Leo's also from here.
Yeah, I am originally from Broward County, Florida. So it is a little bit for me going back to your roots situation. I love New York City. I've always wanted to live in New York City.
And you still do live in New York City.
And I do still live in New York City. But
that's where taxes are paid.
For the first 6 years, I was fine with it. And then at one point, I was just like, that winter is optional, right? Like you can opt out of the winter. Like it shouldn't have to hurt to walk outside.
Right, and then Leo hit an Airbnb for a month. And
yeah, did you like the Airbnb we were at?
I love the Airbnb, but I love even more than the Airbnb is the fact that you are like frolicking, like your best self. You're like outside with these like fucking dinosaur lizards.
I had to reel it in, by the way. I had to reel all of this Florida in. Are you insane? When we first got here the first year.
Last January, we stayed in Pompano Beach, which we loved, in this beautiful house on the Intercoastal, smaller than this house, but cute. And they gave it to you. And Pompano Beach is adorable. And we get there, and we're gonna go out for dinner the first night, and he's in flip-flops and shorts and a tank top, and I'm like, okay. Never met this Leo. And a friend of his to go to dinner. To go to dinner, and a friend of his sent us to this all-you-can-eat sushi place, which was insane. It was horrible.
It was horrible. Kind of nice and clean and all that, but the people there, like, we got our food and it was okay, and we sat down, and the table next to us, the woman brought like all the fried food. It wasn't just sushi. It was just, they had like fried food. She had a mountain of it, and she was checking her insulin.
Yeah,
and
at
then
the table.
We both looked at
and
each other.
We just put our plates down, and we left.
We walked right out, and I said, okay. I said to him, reference your shorts, tank top, and flip-flops. Remember, you're a lady. You're not going to dinner just like this.
Debatable.
You're not going to dinner like this.
You'll catch me in the Publix looking like a slob. It's okay.
Oh, Publix? Yes. Publix, you give it to him.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
He tried to order gator last night.
No. That was a joke. First of all, I wouldn't eat such trafe. I wouldn't eat gator.
Yeah, he keeps a kosher mouth.
Yeah, I keep a kosher mouth. Yeah. I wouldn't eat gator. That's a little bit too far for me.
Yeah.
But...
you threatened to order gator.
I threatened to order gator.
And then you promptly frolicked down to the deck with 2 bagfuls of
raw shrimp.
Shrimp to feed the, what's those things called?
Tarpon.
Tarpon.
Why don't you tell the audience and enlighten them as you enlighten me what a tarpon is?
So a tarpon is a very large aquatic fish that likes to hang around the docks and fishing piers here in South Florida. And in some locations, they congregate to the point where you can buy little shrimp and feed them off the dock. And they're quite big, as you saw last night.
Enormous.
The first time he took me to this restaurant, he goes, there's tarpon. I said, okay. I figured tarpon was something on the floor. There's tarpon, and we're going to eat on the tarpon. I had no idea it was a fish. We get there, and there's these little fish running around, and there was...
They're not little.
No, the big fish, and Leo, with any type of animal, any animal in the world that's mentioned, Leo is like a encyclopedia and knows everything about the animal. So the tarpon...
Dr. Doolittle over here.
Yeah. So Leo just loves feeding them and all of that, and there was...
He was so happy last night with them.
No, he's very happy in Florida. So Florida is a part of our life.
And also, I learned last night that his favorite person was, what's the Australian?
Oh, Steve Irwin. Yeah, Steve Irwin was my idol as a kid.
Steve Irwin,
the crocodile hunter.
Oh, the crocodile hunter.
Yeah.
That's Steve Irwin.
Crikey!
I had an account named Steve Irwin.
Oh my, Irving! I'm saying
Irwin.
Irwin.
The
Jesus
guy who
Christ.
sat on the dolphin and got killed.
No, that was a stingray.
The stingray. I'm sorry. Steve Irwin, Zichron Levracha, he should rest in peace and his neshama should have an aliyah.
Only Modi could turn the crocodile hunter Jewish.
You made the crocodile hunter Jewish.
That's right. And he was good. He had Mashiach energy in him, no?
100%.
He with his animals and all that
100%.
until one of them said, ugh. But that was it. So Leo loves the animals here, and there's the place where we're staying, there's Shady Banks, which is
There's huge iguanas outside.
huge iguanas, and there's also what's with the feathers?
What?
The feather animals with the feathers. The pelican.
Pelicans?
Pelican. There's pelicans.
Pelican?
Pelicans. There's pelicans.
Pelicamos? Pelican? Pelicais?
Peliculus. Anyway, they have pelican. You're just driving, and all of a sudden you see this batch of pelicans. I can't say it. And at the place where we're doing shows, there's one place we're doing shows, the Boca Black Box. When we get there, what's those animals that are hanging out in the parking lot?
Oh, those are some kind of bird. I don't know exactly what they are.
You're kidding. You knew the name of it when we were there last
They're
time.
like a stork or something.
stork. They were storks. Look like storks.
Wow.
There's just animals everywhere here, and they're nice, and it's cute.
It makes me happy to see animals that aren't rats.
Right. Rats and cracked out squirrels.
Yeah, rats and
see
cracked out
and-
squirrels is what you get in the city, and then these like annoying little dogs that
Ew.
everyone
There are
has.
like Komodo dragons that could eat you outside.
They're not
And
gonna
you-
eat you.
They're
They're
gonna
fine.
eat you, and don't worry about it.
Wait, but you didn't grow up in the Jewish part of Florida.
No.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about where you grew up?
I grew up in, well, I was born in Hialeah, Florida, which is the ghetto. Maybe bleep that out, but
Why would you bleep that out?
I don't know.
It's not a ghetto, and you're probably in a nice neighborhood.
No,
there.
Hialeah is not a nice neighborhood. It's, I was born there on a fluke. I was supposed to be born closer to home, but I think I was born right after Hurricane Andrew, and a lot of the hospitals were like damaged and stuff. So I think my mom had to like reschedule where I was born.
It wasn't like you were born and lived there.
No, I was
You were
born in
born there.
Hialeah, Florida.
And then you went
but
home
if we're
3
doing
days later.
astronomy charts and birth times, it's Hialeah.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes that stuff matters.
The birth, no, it doesn't.
The location, yeah, the latitude and longitude.
The time of your birth.
Well,
So
I
you
was
were
born in
born-
Hialeah, but
Yeah.
I grew up in Pembroke Pines, Florida,
And
which is
what's
out
that
west.
like?
It's just the suburbs.
Very
Okay.
nice. We did a show there the other day.
Yeah, you did a show in Pembroke
It
Pines.
was very, very nice. Not all Jewish. Very, very nice.
Okay.
Your
you
best
lived there.
show has been in Boca Raton. I mean,
I don't know. The best show. I think the Pembroke of those shows, the Pembroke Pine was the best one. I don't know.
interesting.
So
I've had
how
some-
many
yeah.
shows have you done since you got
This-
here?
those of you who aren't watching,
Modi's pulling out
I
his
have-
paper
I have-
monthly
I'm
calendar.
dyslexic and ADHD, and I can't deal with this Google Calendar, which Leo keeps in amazing ways. And I needed to buy, what's it called?
Month at a glance.
Month at a glance.
That's my favorite one. I have
It's
one
the
too.
best thing in the world. I see everything in one. Okay, so we got here on the 9th, and then we did Bloca. We did Boca Black Box. It was the show was sold out months before we got here, which was so much fun.
Yeah.
And they were so excited. And then we added another show there. But we did that at Boca Black Box. I did the Century Village shows, 3 of them. Those of you who don't know what Century Village is, it's these communities where people are over 55. And when I say over 55, I mean over 55. And it looks like dormitories. It's like these split levels with like
Okay.
the outside.
Some of them
It
are-
looks like you're on a college campus, but there's no classes,
Yeah.
just dorms. But the theaters, stunning.
Yeah, they
Stunning.
do have nice theaters.
And from 1,300 seats to 900 seats, and they were packed.
Wow.
And they usually don't get packed. They don't. The one in Boca was sold out.
Wow.
It was sold out, and the audience was amazing. And I did an hour and 10 minutes, and they were so sweet. And then we did one in West Palm, and also one of those, also like 900 people. And then we did one in Pembroke.
Pembroke Pines.
Pembroke Pines, and it was like half Jewish, half non-Jewish, which was
And then
so
we went
much
out with
fun
my
too.
godparents afterwards.
And we went out with his godparents to
The Cheesecake Factory is where we
the
went.
Cheesecake
Oh,
Factory.
this is your godmother?
Yeah, my godmother
And
and
where
my godfather.
where did she? Oh, I didn't know there was a father
yeah,
too.
yeah.
And didn't she take you someplace you were saying growing up?
Oh yeah. My godmother and I'm very close with my godparents. And they used to take me, they don't have kids of their own, so I was kind of like their kid. And they used to always take me out to eat and like take me out to cool places, and they're a little hipper than my parents, I would say. So they would take me out to like South Beach and like to eat sushi. On Lincoln Road. And anyway,
I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, right. Sodom and Gomorrah. So anyway, my mom kind of blames her for making me gay sometimes, but she just exposed me to things, you know.
Can we unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, they were there and they were adorable. And what else was there? More shows. What
I wanted to ask about, how did this person become your godmother if your mom's saying that like she's exposing you to like bad things? Like, isn't the idea that this is somebody
who... that's the irony of it all. But at one point I think my parents were cool and they were really good friends with my godparents, and when they had me, they were like, hey, do you want to be the godparents? And they're like, sure. And then they both went on separate spiritual journeys after that.
Wow.
Is what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the irony of the whole thing.
Do your parents still think sushi can make somebody gay?
I don't know. Depends on what restaurant. If it's on Lincoln Road, for sure.
If it's that all you can eat, it definitely will not make you gay.
It'll make you diabetic.
Oh my God. Then we did shows here. So you have to understand, it's so packed full of Jews, this area. It's insane.
Oh my God, walking with you through the Aventura Mall, I felt like I was with Madonna. Like, people were just like...
Yeah. It's... okay. There's a camera here, and all it's going to get now is you picking your ears and blocking the camera. I'm just letting you know. Just we can bleep that out, but it's going to be the rest of the time. All we're going to see is this. I know you're not catching that.
Okay, keep
it's
going.
Like in the porn when the guy puts the hand.
Oh, you jumped right to porn.
No, but and then you see the director move with the hand. Okay.
I never noticed.
I've never watched the bloopers of porn, but
I read this on Reddit. I read it on Reddit.
Sure. Okay, let's keep going.
Anyway,
we are recording from the living room of our Airbnb, so it's a little bit of a different setup for us.
This is
so
how great of a
bear
place
with us.
Yeah, and thank you to the what's your name of the company? AV Club Studios. They came here and they set it up. It was adorable. I hope it's recording. It's gonna come back. Well, we forgot the chip.
No, it's chip and it's
very
chipped
good.
And it's recording.
So then we did this show in a synagogue called Anshe Emuna.
Oh my
what a
God.
name!
Oh
the people
my God.
of faith. Average age there was, I would say, 60 to deceased.
Oh
my. Wait, can we pause?
Yeah.
I feel like you should. I want you to talk about the Anshe Emuna gig, but I feel like can you kind of like set up your crashing episode for those who might not have seen it, and then go into that story?
So I did an episode on HBO's Crashing, where
you played yourself.
Yeah,
I think that's a key. Sorry,
I played myself, and Ilan Gold was on with me, and we played comedians that work in synagogues. It's a whole circuit. It's literally like an improv. Young Israels are like the improvs of all over the world. They have 500 guests. They sell out.
It's amazing.
You get up. There's auditorium seating,
right?
And it's amazing. And so this was literally when they filmed that, it looked just like the synagogue. And I brought in this character when we wrote the script. Yoni Weinberg wrote it, and we helped him write it together. And we made this character of the woman that says, "I'm the one that brought you in."
Okay.
I'm the one. Whenever you get to a Jewish event, there's 80 people saying, "It's because of me you're here." I saw you at Birchfield Country Club, and I said he'd be great. He's a wonderful magician, So there's always those, but she literally was. I don't know, maybe. When did she reach out to you?
She reached out to me from
the summer.
In the summer, last summer, because I remember I took the call from our Fire Island house,
right?
And I was like,
she couldn't be sweeter.
She was the sweetest person.
If you open up the dictionary, Yiddish mama, a Jewish mom, this is a picture of her. And she talks like this. And when she booked the show, I had other shows booked around in the area. And then she kept saying, I see he's performing everywhere. he's got a show in Boca, and there's one show he's doing in Turnberry, and I hope it doesn't affect. She sold out her show with no problems. She was the nicest person we've dealt with in so long. Yeah. She called up. What would he like in the green room? And by green room, the rabbi's office.
Yeah. Which we'll take.
Which we'll take. As long as enough to be, and it was amazing. She made us sandwiches. We asked for turkey sandwiches, and she made us beautiful sandwiches and coffee.
No, but her husband's a caterer, so they were like, these were not just,
They were from her house. It wasn't from the...
Cute.
It was very cute. And she couldn't have been sweet. And the entire synagogue read the article, the Variety article, right. And they were all like, okay, that's... And she goes, that's his husband. Drop dead gorgeous. Drop dead gorgeous. You should see his husband. Drop dead gorgeous. And we went on, and the rabbi was very sweet. The rabbi holds himself as a comedian, which I love for him. And he was getting laughs before he brought me up, and he said, Modi is an acronym for Modern Orthodox Divine Intervention, which I loved. I'll take that.
That's good.
I will
That's the title
take
of this episode.
That's funny. And the show was what?
Just be a little closer.
The show was amazing. And it was in the synagogue, and it was just a wow. And what even better was, it was sold out, and they sold VIP tickets, and they raised over $70,000 to fix the front of the synagogue.
Oh wow!
Which was so great, so great, and they were amazing. And then we had more black box, Boca black box shows, also sold out, and a great energy. Then we did a country club here. There's these things. So those of you who aren't familiar with, there's your friend. Those of you who aren't familiar,
there's like a 4-foot iguana walking by right now.
Those of you who aren't familiar with South Florida, right before you get to Miami, everything is named after either 10 different words. It's Sunny, Boca, Vista, Isle, Grove, Glade.
Or some combination thereof.
Or combinations. All the combinations. It's Vista Isle. We're on sunny Boca. Boca Isle Vista Grove. Glades West. And all of the names of that. So now there's this place called Woodfield Country Club. Mm-hmm. And
which to get into, you would think we were going to the White House.
No, you couldn't get in there. I was on 24 minutes to go through security. And when I pulled up and I was saying, hi, I'm the comedian, she says, we didn't get any message. We didn't get any of this. Yeah. They had to call the club. They kept me there for 15 minutes. Oh, God. It was insane to get in. But it was...
beautiful facilities.
Stunning.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
It's a country club.
Gorgeous.
And it's...
Well, can we go have dinner there tonight?
We had dinner there that night. It was so delicious. It's one of those country clubs where all the food is perfection because they know if it wasn't, it gets sent back.
Right.
So... The food was great. The people were great. The vibe was amazing. It was. They did not think they were going to have 500 people. They had 500 people, and that's
the Federation of North Miami event at the most recent one.
Right, but I'm just giving of all the type of work that's here. Then there's the improvs.
Which you're doing on Thursday.
Right. I'm at the West Palm Improv, also sold out show. Amazing. But there's all of these different types of venues here.
Right.
There's between Century Villages and the country
Florida
clubs,
circuit.
The Florida circuit.
I feel like what I'm getting from all of this is that the two of you are never coming back to New York.
No, we're coming back.
And I'm not loving
Although we do
it.
have a crazy schedule from here.
From here we go to...
We're going to be at home for 3 days the whole month of February. And then we're going
to London. And then...
Yeah.
All that, but
I mean, listen, I'm not mad having to traipse around the world as an excuse.
But we had one show that was truly, all these shows were really, for me, Mashiach energy. The Anshe Emuna was amazing. They raised $70,000 for the front of the synagogue, and they brought people together, and they were laughing, and they couldn't have been happier. And then one thing that was so weird about the Anshe Emuna show, the people that bought VIP tickets to do the meet and greet afterwards were given a yellow sticker that I would say was about 2 inches by 2 inches. And it was a gold yellow sticker. And they put it on their on their chest.
The optics were a bit weird.
And I get on stage, and all of a sudden, you just look out and you see like a sea of people, 500 people, and then you just see people with little gold stars on there. I'm like, did nobody think this through? Did nobody think of the Jewish okay, it wasn't a Jewish star, but it was not a Jewish star.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Anyway, so that was but otherwise that was definitely Mashiach energy show. And then the Federation, and this was the one show Leah was nervous
This
about.
was the biggest question mark for me. The biggest sort of variable, mixed bag. I don't know how this gig is going to go. And it turned out to be, I think, one of the best ones.
What
But
were
when
you
you say
nervous
mixed
about?
bag, they have to understand, like, again, I'm performing in places where comedy was not meant to be done.
Right.
The improv, comedy's meant to be done there.
Boca Black Box.
Boca Black
Yes.
Box, comedy's meant to be done there. A theater,
Yes.
any performance is meant to be done there. When you're in a synagogue, you don't know how they're going to set it up.
How's
Done.
the sound going to be? How's the
And the
lighting going
person
to
you're
be?
dealing with, you don't know how out there they are.
Right.
And so it's not a comedy booker. It's a soccer mom who all of a sudden has taken on being a co-chair of this comedy event. Anyway, so we do the show in Aventura, which is lit.
It's like a shtetl.
Oh,
It's
not Leo throwing
it's
out
a
a
shtetl.
shtetl.
It's not a
it's
shtetl.
a ghetto almost, but ghetto with beautiful buildings and great stores and great kosher foods and all that, and Jews everywhere. There were this. Okay, so just to give Aventura a shot, just off the field, there's a place called Sarah's Tent. It's a kosher supermarket, and we were shopping, and then all you hear is French. All the people from France are here, and they're shopping, and this woman in front of us was paying, but her credit card was kept getting declined. Orthodox Jewish woman, the wig, the skirt, the long sleeves, and the card kept getting declined. And so I made a joke with her husband, having a bad week or whatever. It was something cute. Her kids right away picked up who I was. Oh. And she's like looking at me, and the son in French goes, "J'entends très bien, j'entends des vidéos de Shabbat Shalom."
Oh my God.
It was so funny.
How old was he?
He was like 17, 18,
Oh,
and the father right away started laughing, and the mom still.
She was just flustered. That
She was
her card
so
wasn't going
flustered.
through.
That, she kept giving cards, and they kept getting declined, and she was doing something wrong, but whatever. It was very. So that's the vibe of Aventura, and we had a show there in a synagogue called
The Beth Torah Benny Rock campus.
Yes.
Whoa.
It sounds like an Elton John song, and it was for the Federation and the Federation of
North Miami or something like that.
Yes. And
Yes.
but they also invited all these different little cliquey groups of people. Like, I didn't know this, but like the Jews that are from Argentina hang out only with Jews from Argentina. Israelis, which we know, only hang out with Israelis.
Right.
And Jews from Cuba only hang out, but they brought them all together and made them meet. And
You brought them all together and made them meet.
I delivered comedy. For them to arrive there, a lot of things had to happen. And that's what that woman who did it, and Leo did it. But the woman was a little like, she spoke with a Spanish accent, and he's gonna come, he's gonna break a sample, and then he's not gonna do the show, but then the show gonna come, and they're gonna end. No, the show gonna be the one gonna come after the show, and Leo's would be dealing with this for months, but the show came out insane. It was so good.
It was a good show.
It was a great show,
Did you bust out your fluent Spanish?
No, so funny you should ask, because this whole time I was dealing with her, which has been for like a few months, I just let her kind of struggle through it. And then once we got in person, I threw out a line in Spanish to her. And then she was like, "You really spoke Spanish this whole time and you were letting me?" And I was like, "You did a great job."
And the woman that
because once we start switching into Spanish mode, I can't shift into sports mode like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not I can't now start doing business in Spanish. Like,
Yeah.
I am fluent in it, but like, no.
Well, now that you've said that publicly. No, but it's true, though. People, like, I do the same thing in Hebrew. Like, I won't, because then they start taking liberties with you, right?
Yeah, and...
You too? Well, you don't do it.
It's probably, if I'm dealing with an Israeli, I'd rather just be dealing with, I don't want to hear them going, the law, you're going to come after the dinner. I'd rather just go, just let them speak in Hebrew and I
want to talk about
break their tongue.
Language that I've realized recently in hanging out with you, because I don't speak Hebrew.
Yeah.
Although now from like intonations and context clues, I can pretty much figure out what's going on.
You do speak Yiddish, however.
I do speak pretty good Yiddish. There's a phenomenon that I can't quite put my finger on, and it's this. It's when we are in a group of people who are Israeli, be it your parents or your cousins or anyone, and you guys are speaking in Hebrew, which I don't care. Like, I'm like,
right,
this obviously doesn't involve me.
Yeah.
There's a certain point that sometimes happens where you guys shift into English, I think only for my sake, just because I happen to be in the room. And then I feel the need to like actively listen now. Like, yes, okay. But really, the conversation has nothing to do with me.
Right.
So what's the most polite way for me to be like, you guys can go back to Hebrew? Like, I actually don't care.
You don't have to speak English. Yes, you don't have to speak English.
I try saying that sometimes, and I think people think that I'm being rude.
Okay, so first of all,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Israelis don't even know what the word rude means.
Yes, they do.
Here's the thing. It is rude to be speaking another language when there's somebody in the room who doesn't speak that language. Israelis are notorious for this.
Notorious.
Like...
I'm on autopilot. I'm in my own little world. If you guys need to talk about something in Hebrew, I don't care.
Literally speaking fully, and then you just, for 2 seconds, you just take a break from the conversation. You look over and you see Leo goes, and that's why we don't move the furniture before the cleaner come. And then they go right back into ולא אמרתם שלא לבוא לפני 4 שבוע אחרי 5 את לא נורמלי, אנחנו לא נהיה בבית. That's what it is. It's just acknowledging that you're there, and we do.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And we're not talking about you, and
although we might be.
Yeah.
Although we might be, and so it's that.
Which your parents were here for a few days.
My parents came to stay with us for a week at this insanely beautiful Airbnb that Leo found. That's on the water with a pool and a jacuzzi and like 1,000 bedrooms and 4,000 bathrooms. There are so many bathrooms in this house.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 5.
Okay, with 4 bedrooms. And my parents were here, and we're not those families that vacation together. We're going for Pesach. We're going for Passover for 19 days together.
I call
in
your
a
family
hotel.
very business casual.
Yeah, we're business casual. We come over to my mother's house. We have dinner. We hang out, and we leave.
Right.
And that's what she likes, and that's what we like. And when I say we, it's me and Leo. My sisters have planted themselves for a day or two at their house, which is fine. My mom loves it. My mom stays up all night. My mom doesn't sleep, so she just has someone to talk to till 1 a.m. And so we had them here for a week.
She came. She made soup.
We took them to
Yiddish
dinner
mama.
twice. We took them to dinner twice. They hated it. And to these expensive restaurants.
Why did they hate it?
Because they don't want to sit in some dark,
it just wasn't their vibe.
restaurant.
But
they want to eat her food.
Right.
And when you eat her food, instead, it's much better than any restaurant.
No, but Modi, they had dinner and lunch dates. They had a busier social calendar than we did. They were booked and busy with
my
their
mom, Kanai Nahara, is 80 years old. And
has the most robust social circle.
20 close friends. Mm-hmm. Like, usually by this time, all their friends are dead. She's constantly made new friends. And she's in this Israeli folk dance circuit. Rikudei Am.
Wow.
You know what that is?
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
I didn't know what that was.
It's like, I'll take you once. It's like
I'm okay.
The songs come on and everybody knows the steps to it.
It's so cute. Is it like Israeli square dancing?
Literally not far from that.
Yeehaw.
And my mom goes to this 4 times a week, and she has friends from each different one.
Oh,
but you've seen their friends. We went to my mom's birthday party. They're all put together, and they were all in Aventura, which is 20 minutes from here. and they were busy.
They were everywhere.
Lunches and dinners, and there's this place next to Sarah's tent where there's a woman who plays Jewish Israeli music, and they were out till 12 at night, and it was
They were?
Yeah, took
Yeah,
an
they were
Uber
partying.
home. They
Wow.
were busier than anything.
Yeah, I was in bed, and I was like, I feel like I'm like the parent where the teenagers are out, and I'm like, where are they? It's getting
She
late.
was like, yeah, and my mom's like, I don't know where she got in her head Los Olas, which is this place over here with the restaurants. Los Olas is Spanish for no need to go. Is what I think it is. It's just loud and restaurants and okay. It's literally one big cheesecake factory on a whole street.
Which we're not against the Cheesecake Factory. We do like a
With
Cheesecake
little
Factory.
clicky stores
I've
and all
never
that.
been to a Cheesecake
Anyway, my
Factory.
mom wanted to go there. We took her there. The restaurant was so loud, and it just like we just and my mom made chicken cutlets, schnitzels
Yeah, of
here,
course she
and she made
did.
2 different soups, and
Of
she
course
made her
she
baked
did.
apples, and it was all we needed. And it was fun to have that, and Leo's an amazing son-in-law.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was
cute.
very, very nice. We still have more shows here, and I'm so excited for them. And then we're going to we're going to LA for the Chosen Comedy Festival, and I think this is going to air before then. So on the 14th, February 14th, make sure to get your tickets for the Chosen Comedy Festival at the Orpheum Theater, Pelican.
The Orpheum Theater.
The Orpheum Theater in LA, ModiLive.com for those tickets. But just so you know that's happening, that's exciting, and Florida's a vibe.
Florida is a vibe. I might stay here in this house while you guys.
You
go
could
to-
probably hide in one of these rooms without someone knowing for a while.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Or I might go snout around and find like a 90-year-old,
We had
97-year-old boyfriend who owns one of those yachts.
If he has one of those yachts, honey, whatever floats your boat.
We had we're staying in this Airbnb house, and it's when you're driving up. When we will not be here when this airs, but you're driving up 95 and you look over on Davie, the exit Davie. You look over and you see the yachts. We look across from it, but it's all like under a canopy of trees. This whole area, and you can't really see it. And
Is it what you thought it was going to be, Periel, when you said
but I
you were
was getting
coming down?
to a point here.
What?
We had a faux robbery.
Oh, we're going to talk about this?
I think we should.
Okay.
So this place is like, it's so hidden, and so not a thing. We came back from the gym. We went to Equinox in Aventura, which is an extra mile of driving instead of the gym over here, the LA Fitness.
Right. That's probably a wise decision.
LA Fitness, sometimes they're really nice, clean gyms, and sometimes it smells like sweat socks and filthy, and you feel like you're working out in an airport terminal. And we need our Equinox. We drove 40 minutes there, and 25 minutes back from Aventura. We get back to the house and we see the door was wide open.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we see the door was wide open. I pull the car over. I run in to see if someone's in the house and and the whole thing. And Leo's already with 911. Then
That's a normal reaction to when you pull up to your house and the door is wide open.
I guess you're right. And you're the normal one. I ran into the
think-
house.
Yeah, that's a little bit nuts that you ran into
I
the
ran
house.
into the house.
Not only ran into the house, touched all the doorknobs.
Oh, no, okay, so.
Hello, have you never watched SVU?
No, but so the front door was open. I didn't realize, okay, it was, front door was wide open, but it swings open. It's not like that's the way that it's like set. The balcony door upstairs and the balcony door upstairs, which is like a straight line from the front door, was open, and the door between the bedroom door was closed. So obviously the wind closed it.
And you weren't scared to walk in there? I would have been sure there was a dead
I
body.
walked in, and right away I see that the 2 checks from the gigs were on the table. They didn't take the checks.
And my laptop and the speaker and everything else of value.
Everything was worth anything in this house.
Right, murder. They're not.
Right.
It's not
This
a
is-
robbery.
This house is made for Airbnb, so nothing in here is over $35. Right? There's IKEA this, IKEA that, but all nice, and the layout of the house is amazing. Anyway, we walk in there. Leo calls the police. The police were a little late because they couldn't find the house. It's kind of hidden. They said they had to Google and map and satellite maps to find it and all of that.
Funny, my Uber driver found it no problem.
Yeah. Anyway, they get here, 4 guys decked out like they were going to Iraq.
war. Yeah.
I've never seen machine guns and the vest with clips as if they were going to be in a shootout for hours.
Yeah.
And these
brand new like 2022 like souped up SUVs with like the body kits on them, and there were 4 cops each with their own car.
And they pulled up and porn beautiful, like gorgeous,
Fort Lauderdale's finest.
stunning, young, arms bigger than Leo's, tattooed
Let's not go
everywhere.
crazy.
And they start, sir, you're saying this is the vibe in the beginning. Sir, you're saying wait, don't touch the door.
Yeah,
were you in the house already? Because they're ready to go in the house. They're going to pull guns and go in the house.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've been through the whole house already. I had 2 brand new pairs of Gucci here. I want to make sure that those are still upstairs. I have 3 shows left. Anyway, they go like, you do that. Then we kind of all realized it was that door was open. And when we locked the front door, maybe it wasn't closed. So it's one of those electrical, it goes, right? So, okay. All right, we left the door open and we locked it, but it was locked, but it was open. And the wind blew the other door. We figured it out because nothing was moved in the house.
Right.
And so now they're like, they realize that that's what this is. 2 faggots in the house that just called the police way too fast. Okay.
That's a lot.
But then their mode goes from now keep in mind they're in full armor,
Yeah, once they realized that this was a fluke and there's nothing
go,
actually happening.
Where is this neighborhood? Where are we? What do you guys, Airbnb? How much are you paying a day?
Yeah, then they start pulling up Zillow.
Zillow, see how much the houses in the area
1.2. 1.2, dude. 1.2.
I should buy a house here, an Airbnb at 2. Really? Well, you should look in the other area. They became real estate agents.
No, it was like your Hutzella bit.
It's like my Hutzella bit when the Hutzella guys come in. One guy works on the patient, the others are looking around the house to see what the house is worth.
It was literally your Hutzella bit.
Well,
It
it
was
sounds
so
like
funny.
our tax dollars are really
they are
going.
being spent. They are.
The armor that they had, clips for the guns, like they were going to be hours.
And not just the armor and everything, but like, okay, it's whatever. But everything looked new. Like they just took the plastic off of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You know
Like
what
everything
they
looked
should, honestly,
brand new.
This is all really funny, but you know what they really should be spending this money on?
Oh, we're not doing that right
No,
now.
it's-
Really?
I'm here. Let's go.
Oh, no.
It's like they should be training these fucking people to deal with like mental health crises and maybe
Absolutely.
not like murdering unarmed.
They were trained to handle 2 gay men who thought their house was broken into, is what they were trained for. And they did a very good job. Thank you very much, Officer Hot and Hotter. We really appreciate you coming. And thank God this country has good money that's spent on that too. And it should be spent all over the place too, but that's not what our podcast is about. Mashiach Energy. I wish you all Mashiach Energy. Thank you very much. A&H Provisions. Hotdog.com.
www.kosherdogs.net.
Modi promo code for 30% discount.
Lock your doors, folks.
Bye, everybody. Mashiach Energy.